Hey everybody, and welcome back to another pregnancy video. Today I did not make myself look even slightly presentable, and you probably, once again, like in all of these videos, will hear my children screaming in the background. Actually, my youngest is sleeping. My oldest, though, is, well, she's my oldest, and she's just a little troublemaker. I didn't even bother like putting any makeup on or anything like that. Like, my skin is breaking out, you can see that. I have been, for week 15, I have been student teaching as well as working my normal full-time job. So I've been working like 80 hours a week starting this week for the month of January. And it's hard and not hard at the same time, but it doesn't leave me with a lot of time, and I don't feel like spending time putting on makeup and doing my hair and all kinds of other things because frankly I just don't have time for that. We also have a very long color guard practice again this week. We have one of our choreography camps which is split between two of our teams, and I'm going to be doing a lot of choreography, a lot of dancing, a lot of all of that stuff, and there is just no point in making yourself look like a fabulous person because you just get hot and sweaty and gross and you're rolling around on a floor with like stinky feet all over the floor and dirt, and like there's no point. And so right now I am not at that practice because I don't have a babysitter for right now. So since I'm home and my kids are sleeping, I need to record this because I am 15 weeks today. So I need to tell you about what happened in week 15. Week 15 has actually been pretty decent, which is kind of weird because, well, I've been working a lot. In week 15, baby is the size of an orange, which is about 4 inches long, and baby weighs about 2.5 ounces. Other than that, the bump app didn't really say all of that much about week 15. Baby's moving, could be hiccuping, all those kinds of things. Maddie is currently at her door, and I see her hands under the door. Little hands are like under the door moving back and forth. My kids. Rocky. She's yelling for Rocky. Rocky, go see Maddie. I guess she's just gonna be playing in the background of this video, so sorry if she's super obnoxious. Anyway, on that note, with the baby moving and the hiccuping, I think I have been feeling some movement here and there. Not a whole lot, but enough to know that there's things going on. And if you ever have any fears that like something's going on and then you feel the baby move, it's really kind of relaxing and put your mind at ease when you feel the baby move, especially if you're worried that something's happening. With week 15, like I said, I've been so busy. So I've been working my normal jobs. I'm getting up and working at 4 a.m. and then I'm not leaving my student teaching elementary school until 4 or 4:30, which I'm coming home, I'm making dinner for my kids and either staying home with them and putting them to bed around 7:30, 8 o'clock. If it's a day that I have practice, then I go to practice and I end up staying there until like 8:30, depending on when the kids get picked up and their parents show up. And then I might be home at like 9 o'clock. So since I've been so busy, it hasn't left me with a lot of time to think about the pregnancy or think about being pregnant or think about my symptoms or anything like that. I did have my OB appointment, which I think I talked about in my last video, but if I didn't, or if you didn't watch that video, I had just like my basic OB appointment. The baby was fine. The heart rate was 154, I think. But the fun thing is that they had messed up, not the doctor, but the lab had messed up my PAP that I had done in the previous exam. And they like to check for different like diseases, like STDs and stuff like that, just in case that they are positive. They don't want the baby to get them when you have a vaginal birth. And so all of my tests, like I've had it redone, they all come back negative, so that's good. But in case I didn't do them and the hospital didn't have the test saying that that was negative, then they would have to test the baby, or they'd worry that the baby got some sort of disease or something on the way out, and so they wanted me to redo the pap just in case, so that the hospital had the negative results saying that I didn't have any STDs, and then they didn't have to worry about the baby contracting anything. So anyway, we went ahead and I did another pap again, and then they also checked just in case for, you can have like different variations of bacteria in your girly area up in there, and apparently there are certain kinds of bacteria, if you like carry certain kinds of bacteria, that can cause you to go into preterm labor. And because my first labor was 6 hours and my second labor was 4 hours, they wanted to make sure that I didn't have any of those bacteria, because if I were to go into labor like at home, or my water were to break at home, I probably wouldn't make it to the hospital. The hospital on a good day is an hour away. And if once my water broke with both my other pregnancies, the baby was here in like 45 minutes. So they don't want me to go into labor at home, which if I didn't have problems, like I would have to go naturally unless I went overtime. So like it's kind of weird, but I'm always induced a week early, and that's because I'm high risk and my high blood pressure and all the other stuff. But since I have to be induced a week early anyways, they don't want me to go into labor prior to that with the fear that I wouldn't make it to the hospital. So anyway, I had my pap done, all of that stuff. They tested for yeast infections, everything like that, and then they tested for different types of bacteria, and I think everything came back okay, and like I didn't have any of like the bacteria that can cause you to go into preterm labor. I know somebody that happened to, because they had some whatever form of bacteria there. They did go into preterm labor, but I don't remember what all happened with that. But it was as a result of this certain kind of bacteria. I don't know. I'm not in the medical world. This is just what I'm being told. So anyway, I think everything came back good, because they didn't call me saying I needed to like be on any sort of medicine to like kill off that kind of bacteria. Kind of like when you have strep B, you end up getting on penicillin to get rid of the strep, group B strep, whatever it is, before you have the baby, so the baby doesn't end up getting that form of strep. It's not harmful to you, but it's harmful if they were to breathe it in or anything like that. Yeah, so that was all good. And that was pretty much it as far as week 15 goes, like the doctor's appointments and all that stuff. I haven't had any more ultrasounds to share with you. And yeah, oh, I did go to my high risk consultation. So they wrote down everything, like we looked at the history of my previous pregnancies and everything like that. And they think that I am at a higher risk this time around to actually develop preeclampsia than previous times, and I think that's just because they made it sound like anyways that my risk would be higher for preeclampsia the more babies I had. I didn't get to that point, almost got to that point last time, but I didn't get to that point with either of my pregnancies. My blood pressure was high enough and my urine protein levels were getting higher, but they weren't in a range that would make me have preeclampsia or go into eclampsia or anything like that. But that's why I get induced early, is to avoid that and to avoid any damage to the placenta, because high blood pressure can damage the placenta. And if the placenta gets damaged and can't feed your baby, then your baby cannot survive. And so I'm induced early just to avoid late term stillbirth and to essentially prevent me from going into preeclampsia, because not only is that bad for the baby, but the mother can also die from preeclampsia, or not preeclampsia, but eclampsia. You can start having convulsions and seizures and, stuff like that. So we want to avoid all of that. So I am still scheduled to be induced on June 22nd. I'm due on I'm still scheduled to be induced on June 22nd. I am actually due on June 29th. And so we're just gonna wait and see. But as far as my symptoms go this week, like I said, I'm so busy, I don't have a lot of time to think about it. But this week, I don't feel pregnant. I'm kind of in that point now. There's like a point when you finally get to that point in your like second trimester where like things are starting to go smooth. You're not looking like a watermelon yet, but you're also not like your average self, but you feel so much better than you did in the first trimester, and that's kind of the point that I'm at where like I have cold symptoms and everything like that, but if I didn't know I was pregnant, I wouldn't necessarily think I was pregnant because I just kind of feel normal at this point, which is good. It's the best time for me during pregnancy because the beginning for me is always really rough, and then the ending is like nobody should ever have to be put through any of that, but hello, I get to because, well, I'm having a third baby. So anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I ordered a ton of maternity clothes off thredup.com. If you don't know what thredup is, it is an online consignment store where you can get really inexpensive, high quality items online and they'll ship it to your house. It's just like if you were to go out to an awesome consignment store in your area, but it's online and you shop from the comfort of your own sofa on your phone. And so I really, really, really love thredup. And I decided to buy a bunch of maternity clothes from thredup just because some of mine going through 2 back-to-back pregnancies will not survive a third pregnancy. So I've purchased, well, I purchased the maternity underwear from Amazon, and then I purchased a lot of clothes from thredup. So I will do a try-on kind of like thredup haul, you know, whatever, video for you guys at some point so you can see all of the different cool things I bought from thredup. If you're interested in thredup, I'll go ahead and leave a link below. I think I can give you like, I've got like a code for like $10 off your first order or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, I'll leave it down below. If you want to use it, go for it. If you've already used thredup, let me know what you think because I love it. And it's not sponsored or anything. I'm just letting you know that I bought clothes and I'm going to be trying them on for you. I'm not like, I don't care. You don't have to sign up. Whatever. It's on you. But I'm just letting you know I bought clothes. And I will show you my clothes. Anyway, guys, give the video a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell so it goes ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling every time I upload a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.